This program was first broadcast on Canterbury's access media station, Plains FM, and was made with the assistance of New Zealand On Air.
Hello and welcome to Voices Unhindered. I'm Crystal Jenkinson. On this show, I give a unique perspective and listening ear to voices that often go unheard. I want everyone to know that you are not alone and that your voice and story matters. On today's show, I speak with Georgia List, a dance teacher for those with learning disabilities at Jolt Dance. I talk to Georgia about her upbringing, her faith, and how she overcame the loss of her dad at age 11. What was your childhood like growing up, in a few words?
So I grew up with my mum and my dad, and we went to church, well, like any other family.
Yeah. So did you grow up, like, with a faith?
Yeah, so I grew up in church.
Yeah.
So I went to children's church when I was super duper little, and then grew up to youth group.
Yeah.
And then I kind of stopped going to church because the rest of my family kind of stopped. And then...
Why did they stop?
So when my dad had passed away...
Yeah. And how old were you when your dad passed?
So I was 11. So I was... Pretty young, yeah. So my dad was like super in the faith journey, and we kind of followed that. And then when he kind of passed away, I think it just brought memories back for the rest of our family. And we went for a wee bit and then we kind of faded away and left. We stopped going. So
how did it affect you when your dad passed, like with your faith? How did it impact your faith?
Well, I went to youth group and I enjoyed it because it was kind of seeing friends and like listening, but I don't think I'd grown fully in my faith, obviously, when I was 11. And then when my dad passed away, because of the memories and stuff, the rest of our family kind of went away from church. And so then we kind of all faded away.
Yeah.
And after youth group, there wasn't really much else. There was church service on a Sunday, but that was really all.
What church did you go to?
So I went to Parklands Baptist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I was there from when I was little right till the end of youth. So quite a long time. Would
you say your dad was the stronger one in faith, or would you say they were both strong in their faith?
Mum was strong, but I think Dad was the stronger one out of them both.
Wow. And how was losing that person who was the strongest in faith for your family?
Yeah, it was hard.
Changed after he passed. Just like you stopped going to church, you said, and withdrew.
Yeah, so we withdrew a bit.
Do you think it was the grief as well?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think so. And because we used to go to church every Sunday.
Together?
Yeah, all together. That was like our tradition.
Yeah.
It
felt strange without him.
Yeah, it felt strange not having him there as well. But I could tell Mum, like, used to try and get us to go, even after he passed away. But then, after a while, it all kind of just faded.
With that void in your life with your dad gone at such a young age, did you feel the need to fill the void that you had with other things in like the world, like drinking? Yeah. So I feel like I kind of turned away from my faith, just sin and things that, I didn't, obviously isn't in the Christian faith. Yeah. So you knew they were wrong, but you just wanted to fill that void.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is natural. Like, what has God helped you through now?
Probably just like knowing the love.
Yeah, your identity.
Yeah, identity of myself. And the grief and like knowing that he's the father.
Did you struggle with any like heavy emotions after he passed, like anger or just like guilt?
Yeah, lots of guilt and there was a bit of anger in there, just like, why did it happen at such a young age,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
Do you mind me asking what he passed of?
So he was medically unwell. So he had a spined back, and then he also had an oxygen tank. But it wasn't like we weren't expecting it. So
It was sudden.
yeah. So it was super sudden. The brief of it pretty much was waking up. Yeah, to it all just happening.
Wow. So you just woke up one morning and it all just hit you kind of.
Yeah. So 3 days after Christmas. So, 3 days after Christmas, and we weren't expecting it. You know, we said goodnight the night before, and then woke up the next morning, and it just had happened.
Wow, that's even harder than losing someone and you know what happened you expected it and you can kind of figure it out a bit more. Whereas in the night and you just wake up and it's a real shock. If you're just tuning in, I'm speaking with Georgia List, who is a dance teacher for those with learning disabilities at Jolt Dance. She talks about her childhood, faith, and the loss of her father at age 11. What inspired you to become a dance teacher for those with learning disabilities?
So I have a brother who is autistic, and so I've grown up with him and people that he had gone to school with and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I've been a part of the company for 4 years, 5 years.
What company?
Jolt Dance.
Yeah.
Quite a long time. And then I kind of just got the opportunity to do a workshop with learning to be a dance teacher, cool. Which I'm still doing now. So still just learning the skills to become a dance teacher. And I teach just for an hour on a Wednesday night with a group and do some one-on-one work with people that need it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And did you find out about Jolt Dance through your brother and his friends?
Yeah. So my brother, when I was super little, he used to do it. Yeah. So then when I was growing up, I had lots to do with it. And then I have kind of grown since then. And now I'm a dance teacher.
That's cool. And what other kinds of things that you have to learn when working with those with learning disabilities?
Lots of patience. Be patient, and even if they're trying to explain something, just giving them the time to, explain it out. Yeah.
And do you have a special rapport with those with learning disabilities because of growing up with your brother who has autism?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. You just need a little gasp of them and they just make you so happy.
That's cool.
Yeah, their smiles, they're always smiling and, so excited to come and
that's cool.
Yeah, no matter what you do.
And what do you find most rewarding about your job?
Being able to.
Like what you just said, seeing them so happy and...
Yeah, being able to see them so happy and see them be able to express themselves through dancing. And we do shows once every 3 years. And they're always so happy and excited to, jump on the stage and do a show. And the friendships, they all just get along with everyone, everyone in the class. Yeah.
That's cool.
It's cool.
And what's the most challenging part of your job as a dance teacher?
Probably seeing others out in the community judging, what they do, or
What do you mind expanding on that? Those out in the community judging what they do.
So I know, like, through experience, you know, like with my brother, like having something little, like them doing something little that maybe others think are weird is weird, but it's not to them, you know?
Yeah.
Or like if they kind of get the soft story of, you know, you can't do that, but they actually can. Like, it's really cool. Yeah. And so I think, like, the rewarding part of it is, like, seeing them, like, not...
breaking the barriers?
Yeah. And, like, not being, like, them not being worried what other people think. Because, like, they all just do it together and... Yeah. So, probably the hardest is, seeing, like, in our company, we like to just push them as much as we can because we know that they have full potential.
Do you think where you work, it's like everyone has the same, like, goals around helping them reach their potential?
Yeah, definitely, yep. Even... We have a mix of people, but all of them we push them, and yeah, they shine, and they're always so proud of themselves. Like once they've done it, you know, like shows, they're always so proud of themselves.
Yeah, and how does your faith play a role in your job? Like how you encourage them and believe in them? How does your faith come into that? Probably
just like being able to not, like I was saying before, like not identify them as anyone else.
That's cool.
You know, like they're one person.
They're people,
yeah. Yeah, they're human and they're just like us, you know. And yeah, so being able to
they just need love like everyone else.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they just need love. Yeah, that sense of like belonging and love. So being able to just show that, you know, they belong and yeah, and
definitely, like, you think having a brother helped you, like, not put those boxes around, like the stereotypes around those with learning disabilities,
yeah, definitely yeah, not be like, not judging them. Or
okay, what's your advice to others who may have like a family member who has a learning disability?
Probably, yeah.
That they find challenging.
I definitely know patience is a big one. But also they're no different. And yeah, I give my full like praise to them because I know that sometimes it can be hard.
Mm-hmm. Back to your dad. What's your advice to others who've lost like a parent figure from their life at a young age? What did you do that helped you through that time and helped you come out better?
Probably like speak to others, you know, like speak to others to how you're feeling. Yeah, it is hard, but there's always like a light at the end of the tunnel. Yeah, and definitely coming back into faith, and yeah, just knowing that I have a father, you know, out there that loves me. Yeah, is cool.
And did you learn about like your father that loves you? Did you learn about that through your parent as a kid?
Yeah, we were always told when we were kids, like, you know, about how God loves you. And
after your dad passed, did you have any fatherly influences, like male role models that guided you kind of?
Not really. My mum was really supportive. And obviously she does really well with my brother who has autism, and bringing us up to be the best that we can. Yeah, so no, not really, probably just mum.
And looking back, how did you see the influence or lack of influence from your dad in your life? Like, do you remember the things that he taught you now from when you were a kid? Do you kind of see others' lives, like your friends, and then think, oh, they had a dad, and feel like you missed out on anything? Or
not as such. I think it's just because I was so little that that it's a way I don't as such remember because I was only 11. But But yeah, sometimes I think, especially like on Father's Day and stuff, it can be a hard day for others without dads and stuff. But yeah, I don't really remember. I don't say now, I wish.
Do you celebrate like the things that he's taught you or said to you? Do you remember those things?
Yeah.
Do you mind telling us some of the things that he...
Just to be strong and grow up to be the best that I can. And I know that obviously having a brother with autism, this would be something that he'd be quite proud of, knowing that I'm a dance teacher and I do a few other things in the disability community. Yeah, so I know that he'd be proud of it. He kind of grew up with my brother with a disability. So now that I'm working in the disability sector, I started working in the disability sector when I was 20, just in jolt dance.
Yeah.
And
what about your faith journey? Do you think he'd be happy with you?
Definitely. I know that the time from not going to church to going to church, and when I decided I'd go back, and I knew that my mum was really pleased, even though she wasn't really she's in the faith, but she's not, a big...
Planted.
Yeah, she's not planted. I know that she was pleased that I went back, but I also know that, I know that my dad would be proud that, I've come back and I come every week, and that he'd be pleased that I've recommitted and going God's way.
And what else does it mean to you, your faith, apart from going to church? What do you do rest of your days, from Monday to Saturday? How does it play a part in the rest of your life?
Yeah. So I have my Bible at home. So I live super close to the beach. So I sometimes just walk down to the beach and I'll sit on the beach looking at the ocean and read my Bible or have some God time. I know in the fasting stages, each day I've been trying to go going to the beach. But yeah, even now I'm walking down to the beach, or I'm sitting in my room having some time with the Lord, or I still play worship music in my house, and I sing it at the top of my lungs. And yeah, the rest of my house just have to listen to me sing. But yeah, I know he'd be proud.
And what's some of the other work that you have done in the community? So
I do one-on-one work. So I work in the community and take people out one-on-one and have fun. That's a big thing. That I'd also say to other support people to push the fun. And I also used to work at a holiday program with people that had super high needs, and I would go out and do things. Yeah, and smiles on their faces as well, and that kind of work is really rewarding. Just thinking. I also work on a tour group with adults with disabilities that go from 16 all the way to 72, 75. So, yeah, it's good.
And how do you find working with those older than you?
Good. Yeah, and they're a piece of joy. Yeah, they're good fun. Yep, and like I say, we just never treat them any different. We'll talk about normal life, normal life things while we're with them,
Thank you for listening to Voices Unhindered. It's great hearing from my listeners. Reach out with questions and comments through Insta or Facebook. Just search for Voices Unhindered. I'm interested to know what other topics and voices you'd like me to bring on the show. Join me every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. on Plains FM 96.9. You can find past episodes at plainsfm.org.nz and subscribe to Voices Unhindered on Spotify or Apple Podcasts to never miss an episode.